So I found out I was pregnant in March of 2021 with my first baby. And I'll start with the feeling. It's not something we had planned. Of course, most people say that the first babies are not planned. So, and just like most people, we had not planned for this one. Period was late, tested, I was excited, but at the same time, I was also scared. Because being a first time mom, of course, it's scary. You don't know what to do. You don't know how to do, how to go about things. Yeah, so the first feeling was scary, but also very excited. The journey of my first pregnancy was beautiful. I always tell people that my pregnancies are very uh, non-dramatic. Number one, I can't tell you if I've had any cravings. I've not had any morning sickness. I've had the best, smoothest pregnancy. However, I developed gestational diabetes at 24 weeks. And this is not something I knew with my first baby. And so I'll take you now back to my first baby. So when I clocked 34 weeks, of course, I was doing the clinics and everything. When I went to my my gyna for the clinic, she told me that you need to do a number of tests, and one of the tests was gestational diabetes. The next week, unfortunately for me, I lost the pregnancy at 34 weeks. Yeah. And so it was one of my lowest moments in my life. I've had so many highlights in my life, and this was actually, I think this was I've never experienced something like that. How it happened is I went to work as usual. I was a radio presenter then. So I've clocked 34 weeks. I'm excited. I'm almost to 40 weeks. And so I joked with the main presenter because I was the co-host, I was the comedian. And I told him, Unajua, soon I'm going to leave you for 3 months and you'll be doing the show alone. So that very day. And he told me, I'm ready for it because I know you'll be coming back. Unknown to me, that was the last day I was going to go to work. Because that evening, after I had dinner, my water broke. Now, again, this is my first pregnancy. I do not even know what is water breaking. I don't know how water breaks. I don't think it was tulikuwa tumefika hapo na daktari ama sikuuliza ama they don't. Majorly, I think they don't give as much information as it should, because from where I sit, women need to be equipped with so much information. You need to know what it means by water breaking, how it feels. You need to know when your membranes rupture, how it feels, what to check out for. So me, I did not know my water broke. I just felt some warm liquid come out, and I went to the toilet. There was more, so I called my midwife. Now, again, let me take you back. I was planning to do a home birth. And so I had started the birth lessons with the midwife. And so immediately I called her. She told me that could be a premature rupture of your membranes. Call your doctor and explain to her what has happened, and then she'll guide you from there, because I think you need to go to hospital. So I called my doctor. She told me go to the hospital now, 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 because I told her after the water broke, after the liquid came out. Now remember, I don't know whether my water has broken. After the warm liquid came out, I started cramping. I started cramping there and there. So she told me go to hospital. So I called Mans. I told him, yo, this has happened. I've been told to go to hospital. You're 20. So he came, and we went to hospital. So when you go to the clinic, when you're pregnant, the first thing they check is the heartbeat. I noticed they were struggling to get the heartbeat. And but the last thing on my mind was losing a baby. So I was told we're going to take you to an emergency ultrasound, 2D ultrasound. And so I was wheeled to the ultrasound room, and that is when the sonographer confirmed. She knew. By the time I was going there, she knew. So she just did the normal routine, akapima kichwa, told me this is the head, this is how we are looking. It didn't even hit me there was no activity, because usually when they're doing the what is it called, pap smear, you can see movement in the womb. So mimi sikuona any movement, but it didn't hit me. So she broke the news and told me, Mercy, unfortunately, there's no fetal activity. And yeah, I'm sorry. And I broke down. I really cried on that day. That very moment I cried. I called my dad. I called my mom. Her phone was off. African mothers, you need to start picking your calls. Sijui shida inakuwaga gani. Her phone was off. So the next person I called was my dad. And I told her, yo, I've been told I've lost the baby. And he asked me, where are you? I told him I'm at Mpisha. And he told me, I'll come. Who are you with? I told him I was with Mans. And he told me, we'll come in the morning. So my dad was in denial. So vile nilimwambia mtoto amekufa because him telling me he'll come in the morning, he thought I did not know what I was saying. And to confirm that, he sent someone who worked in the hospital to come tell me everything will be okay. So the next morning she came and told me, she found me crying and she told me, yo, stop crying, you and baby will be okay. I've been sent by your dad. And I told her, no, there's no fetal activity, there's no heartbeat. I lost the baby. And she told me, yo, but your dad told me something different. He told me, I think alimwambia si yuko sawa. And so that's how I knew my dad was in denial. So now from there is now, so I was induced, next day I was induced to quicken the process. Now, when my water broke and I started cramping, I went into labor immediately. So I gave birth the next the next day, I think at 2 p.m. After inducing, I held the baby for a while. And then I remember the nurse asking me if I wanted to go stay with the baby for a while. And I told them no, I didn't want to stay with the baby. To me, I felt like it was going to prolong my grief. But if I knew I'd have allowed it, I'd have stayed with my child for as long as I wanted. They would have allowed me. And then they asked me if I have plans on how to bury the baby or the hospital to take care of it. And I told them, just take care of it. I was not prepared for anything. I did not even know you're given rights to bury your child when you have a stillbirth in hospital. So again, we need to equip women with all this information. So I held the baby, said kwaheri, they wrapped her very well. And then I signed the documents to have the hospital dispose the baby. And I was now working the process with the doctors, now asking for answers, what happened. And they could not tell me. They could not find any reason. But I remember the doctor told me, your baby was very big because at 34 weeks, she was already 3.4, 3.5 kgs.